What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
All right, welcome back, YouTube. So, what is in the box? Well, this is one of my latest purchases. I bought this, I think maybe going on 2 weeks ago. It's unfired, untested, but let's go ahead and see what's in the box. For some of you, this may be a familiar logo. It says right there on the front, Uzi pistol. But not in 9mm. It is in 22 caliber. As you can see right here, here is the Walther IWI replica in 22 caliber long rifle. Go ahead and move this out of there. Comes in a fancy foam padded case. Comes with one magazine, 20 rounds, and a couple of tools that are included inside. A couple of Allen keys, one large, one small, and one wrench, and that is for the barrel removal. We'll go ahead and look at that when we do a little bit of breakdown. Inside is your standard safety lock, literature, and the IWI instruction manual for the Uzi, which really focuses more on the 22 Uzi rifle. Pretty much similar breakdown. This one right here is comes with a 16.5-inch barrel, I believe it is, and a folding stock. This one is considered a pistol because it doesn't have a stock or any type of forward hand grip or anything. What it does come with is a rail, as you'll see right up here in the front. Let me get that in frame. What I plan on doing is putting a small finger groove right here in order to keep a better grip on it. This gun is a little bit clumsy and awkward, but that doesn't override the cool factor. I'm a kid of the 80s and 90s, so you've seen a lot of these, Miami Vice, Chuck Norris, movies like that. Since I've had this, I have highlighted the fire and safe for easy viewing at the range. All right, so the range master, he'll know that the weapon is on safe. Speaking of the magazines, it did only come with one factory magazine, but in the past, in anticipation of buying this, I purchased 3 more, so it kind of forced me into buying this pistol when it became available for a pretty good price. Okay, so so we can get the pistol to stand out a little bit better than instead of a black background, I use my traditional shemagh. What really caught my eye about this pistol was one, the cool factor. It's a 22, so it's going to be a little bit more affordable to shoot as opposed to 9mm. With the high capacity bands of magazines, the Uzi pistol magazines or Uzi magazines in general are going to be a little bit more difficult to get here in Colorado. But it's got some heft to it. I believe it said it weighed about 4 pounds, about 4 to 5 pounds with the magazine. The magazine that it comes with is just a plastic magazine, standard 22 long rifle type. It does insert into the pistol and releases with a paddle down here at the bottom. It's got 2 settings. It's got fire and safe, as you can see. The rail, as we pointed out earlier, this will be the piece that I'm going to put on right here, and it's going to slip on just like that, and it's going to give me something a little bit easier to hold on to, something where your finger will rest naturally, as opposed to sitting here on the rail, which is a little uncomfortable. As I talked about before, this gun is a little awkward to hold. What I have done in the time, well, the pistol's been sitting around in the basement here, I put some of this Talon grips paper, well, not really paper, but it's an adhesive grip You've seen some of my videos where I use the Talon. I buy these little 1-inch wide strips. It aids with the grip, and it takes some of the bite off of this area right here is where I have a lot of problems. After handling this gun, right here it starts to get a little bit tender. Wish there was something else you can do other than, you know, lower your finger down, but it naturally rides and rests right on top of there. So hopefully we can remedy that with this right here. We'll see once we take it out to the range. Once again, it feels good. It's 1/1 scale. There's, you know, no difference from the actual size other than the caliber. As I talked about, it came with a tool where you can remove the barrel. Let's go ahead and remove that real quick so you can see what is under there. And that's nothing more than a sleeve. As you look at it, your standard 22 long range, or long rifle, I'm sorry, round. So there's really nothing. It fits right in there. It's got these two little lugs, as you can see, or little cutouts, and it locks right in, and you go ahead and screw that on. Now, I think there's some adapters out there you can buy in the $25 range, you know, that you can add a suppressor if you really feel you need to add a suppressor to this 22. But overall, I mean, that's what you're getting. I paid under the $300 range. When they first came out, I think they were in the high 4s, low 5s when they first came out. But nowadays you can get them. I seen one on Arms List that I should have jumped on a few months ago. The guy wanted $185 for it. God, I wish I would have jumped on that one. But I missed out on that one. But I paid a little bit more, and with the magazines, you know, the magazines were about $25 a piece. Overall, you know, it starts to add up. Like any gun purchase, you want to start accessorizing it. All right, let's go ahead and do a breakdown. As you can see, the gun is unloaded. Let's go ahead and do a quick disassembly of it and show you the components that it's made of. In order to break this down, let's go ahead and remove the top cover. Okay, there is a small lever right here in the back you're going to push. You're going to lift the top cover charging handle, which you can see consists of a spring. Okay, once the weapon is charged and starts firing, this does not repeat, so it just stays in the forward position. One of the tricks is what you're going to learn is that you have to remove this plastic cover, which is basically a fake bolt, you know, cover to give it the appearance of a bolt that does slide back. In order to remove the bolt assembly, you remove that plastic cover. You go ahead and it's going to take a little bit of fingers, okay? And you get that bolt to come back, and you're going to lift up. There we go. And once you get that done, you got your operating rod, your buffer back there. You got your bolt assembly and your spring assembly. Very simple. Then, from there, you're going to punch out 2 pins. They punch from the right to the left. Not too much of a challenge. It's these 2 simple pins, and you are going to pull from the back. I knew I shouldn't put that finger grip on there yet. There you go. And you have your lower assembly, pistol grip, trigger assembly. This portion right here seems to be made out of a very durable plastic. You have some metal parts. The upper receiver area is metal. I can tell here is metal sights. Possible metal plastic. This is where the majority of the weight is right here. This piece right here. This is the metal portion. You have the fixed barrel. The barrel's not going to come out. I'm pretty sure you can disassemble it any further. They do give you the 2 Allen keys that come with it. I'm not going to go disassembling anything any further than I have to. This is pretty much it. You have the metal in here, and of course you have the hammer assembly right here. Now, this does come with, like the actual Uzi and Uzi pistols, it does come with the palm grip right here, the palm safety. So you can charge the firearm, and it will not fire until you depress. All right, so it's an added feature, just like the real thing. All right, so that is your basic disassembly of the 22 caliber Uzi pistol. And let's go ahead and put it back together in reverse, starting with the pistol grip, and then the spring assembly, the plastic cover, and then the top cover. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, the bolt is the trickiest part. What you have to do is there's a lip right in here that has to feed through this section right in here, and if you don't get that wiggle in there, you're going to have a little bit of problem. So what you want to do, let's go ahead and take the spring assembly, slide it to the rear, wiggle that till you get past that lip. There you go. And then the bolt, you have to push pretty far back, and then that bolt will drop in. Come on, get in there. There we go. All right, and go ahead and replace your plastic top cover, and replace the metal top cover. It's pretty much that simple. And the weapon is on safe, will not fire. Will not fire without the palm safety or grip safety. And there we go. That's your breakdown of the assembly and disassembly, so that should aid in cleaning it. Not too complicated. I wouldn't really start breaking down things any farther than I have to. That's just one of the things about the Uzi that I would not go tampering with. Once again, the biggest problem that you could damage is the spring. It's 22 caliber, spring, so that's about really the only part that you could damage. Other than that, the tools, pretty much self-explanatory. You can adjust the sights. It does. It's similar to the front post side of an AR. Press down, rotate. I don't know if it's zeroed or not. The rear sight is slightly adjustable. It's not highlighted. The only thing that I've done is I put a little bit of white paint up on the front. I might want to touch that up a little bit, make it a little bit brighter, so as you look down, you can see something, because you're going to look right through the charging handle, and you need something to differentiate. The back plate does come off too. Once you have the weapon disassembled, you take that buffer plate out, and the detent is released where you can slide this down. There's a small ball and spring which locks it in, and then this butt plate will come out. I don't know if there's a folding stock or something you can add to it, but you want to watch out for any violations by putting a folding stock on a pistol or any type of fixed stock. So just watch out for that, unless you want to pay an extra $200 to put a folding stock on here, which would be just as much as the firearm itself. So that's one thing you need to keep in mind. Let's go ahead and do a quick function with a dummy round. Let's go ahead and insert that magazine in there, charge it, see how it chambers. Seem to chamber with no problem. Place the weapon on fire, which it already is. All right, fires. And it does eject the round. Has a bolt hold open for the last round, which is kind of nice. Go ahead and remove that magazine, drop it down, and go ahead and close, and you're ready to fire again. Okay, so my thoughts so far on this IWI Walther Uzi pistol and 22 long rifle, not long range. I like it. Once again, cool factor is right up there. Drawbacks, the finger resting area. Everything else seems to be very sturdy without firing it yet. I can't tell you. There's videos out there that show it firing, but like I said, there's 1,000 of them out there, and this one is mine, so we'll find out. The magazines, once again, $25. They seem pretty sturdy. I haven't disassembled them yet to see what's going on in there. I have no plans to do that so far. 4 magazines, Should be plenty for plinking. Once we get it out to the range, then we'll see how she performs. But until then, the next step will be the range. So the manual has some technical data, and as I stated before, weight without the mag is 3.9 pounds, which 4 pounds almost. And with the magazine weight empty is 3.5, so you're looking at about 3 pounds, 13 ounces. Put some ammo in there, you might be closer to the 4 pound mark. Once again, it is a little bulky, it's a little awkward. It's not like your standard, handgun. The weight is just something you have to get used to. Once again, resting on your finger, that little area right here is what was kind of getting on my nerves. But other than that, it's pretty ergonomic, to hold. And when I put this little piece up here, it feels a lot better to grip onto it, So this is the only drawback I would have to say, is this area right there. For some of you that have a chance to shoot that, that's the first thing you're gonna notice, is once that pistol starts bearing down. I mean, I'm sure I can, fire it, with my index finger, or well, my middle finger, I should say. But that's a little bit more awkward right there. Overall, I like it. I haven't shot it yet. I do plan on shooting it with a variety of 22 ammo. They say that it likes the high velocity stuff, so I'll look at that. I'll shoot the weakest stuff I have, and then work my way up to CCI mini mags, which I'm pretty guaranteed that it will like that.
I think I like that as well.
And those torn nuts? Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Storm's coming in quicker than you go square. Actually, I like it cleaner.
25.
Okay.
Well, it's almost like bird shot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And in about.
And then you got the full, so it's ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or shot.
You don't have them?
Okay. You look a lot younger with the shoe. Short years now. There you go. Yeah, Steve always good.
Just like that every time. Don't move your feet. Keep it just like that. And you kind of set in your mind. Okay. You're going to take it right.